Today is the 8th day of September 2022. I am George Wenner and I am here in Pickett's. I'm approximately 300 meters due west of the Pickett's Primary School in the Painters West area. Osborne, technically Pickett's, Osborne, Painters West area. And this is a community that is extending and encroaching further into the wetlands. So come with me, let's take a walk and see what obtains in the Painters West Osborne / Pickett's community. So we're here and this is a drain that comes down into the Painters West community that empties into the wetlands, and we'll take a walk. And you can see this is a drain that is dug. They dug this drain and we're walking on the banks. But what brought us here? The issue of concern is what's happening to the wetland here in Painters West, west of Pickett's, Osborne area. And as you can see, we're at the banks here of this drain. They did dig that drain to provide relief for storm surge waters making its way down into the wetlands. And these are homes on reclaimed land. All this is reclaimed land, and they're continuing the excavation, destroying the vegetation that holds the soil together, and further encroaching into the wetlands. And more we see more foundations for more homes, more houses into this reclaimed area, into the wetland. So this area you can see on the other bank, that would be the southern bank. I'm on the northern bank, and more houses, foundations for more houses built in the wetland. And so these are wetlands. Water from Pickett's, Potters, Johnson's, they make their way across that portion of Airport Road, Sir George Walter Highway, crossing, going into Osborne, into Pickett's. That rusted looking roof is the old sweet oil factory, corn oil factory. And so west of the runway, west of Pickett's, making its way into the waterway up into Fitch's Creek. And we know when there's flooding in Antigua, what obtains in Pickett's. This area during heavy downpour, I would be probably covered, and I'm a guy about 6 feet tall. I'll be covered in water here in the wetlands. And so we see further expansion coming down into the wetlands and providing lands for housing into the wetlands on reclaimed land. So you can see evidence of the land being built up, reclaimed land into this wetlands, and to provide homes for individuals to construct their homes into the wetlands. So we are on the southern bank of the canal, and this is what is happening. So foundation for dwelling homes are being constructed on reclaimed land. As you can see, the edge of the wetlands, these lands are built up, reclaimed, in the wetlands. Let's take a walk across here. To give you an idea of what obtains. So these boulders are thrown into the wetlands. That's the wetland down there, and it is built up with debris, construction debris and other debris. All this is the wetland that has been reclaimed, and we see even further evidence of yet another foundation on the construction on the southern banks. This has been here for some time, but the foundation has started nonetheless, coming out of the ground with the columns. And even further west, we see evidence of holes being dug for yet another foundation in this reclaimed land. Okay? Seems as if they're digging out the holes for the columns. They're building on pillars, and the land has not been compacted properly or settled properly even further down. And this is the reclaimed area in the wetlands. That's the wildlife down there, the birds. Let's see, get them coming into focus. Yep, that's them there. Yes, those are the birds you're hearing in the wetlands here. And all this is reclaimed land. I'm standing on the southern bank, and we're looking at the trench, the canal that was dug to bring the storm surge waters from up in Pickens, west of the Pickens Primary School, all the way down in this canal into the wetlands, destroying the wetlands effectively. So we are almost east of Island Provision on the airport road. Just to give you an idea as to where we're located. So we're just about east of Island Provision in the waterway in the wetlands. And so we're calling on the Development Control Authority. We're calling on the Department of the Environment to come and look at this. And we want to know if this was approved by the Development Control Authority, if this was approved by the Department of the Environment to have persons occupying property, to construct property, to have persons construct property in the wetlands. This is a flood prone area. Whenever we have heavy rains, all this area is flooded, it's covered. And so please, we want to know what is happening, and for the authorities, the head of both the DCA and the Environmental Division, to come and address us as to why would they approve this large-scale destruction of our wetlands in Painters West, Pickets West, Osborne. I am George Wenner, reporting live for realnewsantigua.com.